Give the floor to His Excellency Mr. Peter Mohan Pieris, Ambassador Permanent Representative of Sri Lanka.
Distinguished High Representative, thank you for giving me the floor. The objectives of the Alliance of Civilizations to improve understanding and cooperative relations amongst nations and peoples across cultures and religions is laudable. It has been a bulwark and facilitates the neutralization of the forces that fuel polarization and extremism. We appreciate that forming an alliance with another civilization stands as a sure impediment that prevents both allies from announcing or declaring war on each other. It presents to us a situation where we can provide open borders and shared visibility, which permits us to see everything on the map that the other cities and nations can see. Your laudable initiative that attempts to galvanize international action against extremism through the forging of international, intercultural, and international dialogue and cooperation, Mr. Chairman, is commendable. The concept of an alliance nation must be appreciated as one working on behalf of the world's people, an intergovernmental mechanism supporting a global humanitarian mission, financing through an alliance of the world's nations, states, businesses, and industry. Mr. Chairman, I thank you for convening this meeting and allow me to express my sincere appreciation to the hard work of the United Nations Alliance of Civilizations for its work progressing the UNAOC Plan of Action for 2019 to 2023. Excellencies, the incentives that created the UNAOC over 17 years ago was to deliver realistic programming to the varying UN bodies that took into account the diversity of our global community, even within the limits of a relatively homogeneous national culture. This motivation still stands true, still stands relevant, and let me say, stands as even more important a principle in today's times. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which forms our common humanity, which threads the work of our organization and each subsidiary body, provides the blueprint, I say, for our global and domestic policymaking. The rights obligated to all citizens, from adequate health care to equality in education, to dignity and liberty, are high ideals we have strived to implement within the UN body and in our domestic institutions. However, the implementation of these high ideals and protection of rights need to be satisfactorily dealt with the growing diversity of today. And that has been the great challenge we are faced with. Mr. Chair, we are witnessing today more than ever increased polarization within our own jurisdictions and transnationally. We see more people viewing their universal rights as selectively implemented, and that their diversity in race, ethnicity, and religion unequally valued, which has led to the increased feeling of polarization. It does not do us well to accelerate towards the implementation of the 2030 Agenda or achieve in pure metrics the SDG goals if at its root people still disagree over issues of religion, race, or culture, which forms individual identity and interest. Program building, therefore, towards achieving the SDGs needs to be complemented on the humane side. We need to build human connections if any agenda is to be long-lasting. Mr. Chairman, what we need now is to foster alongside the implementation of the 2030 Agenda is inclusive dialogue. We need a forum where transparent dialogue in every industry with all stakeholders, from youth, civil society, and government officials, take without repercussion for preconceived notions. There are tough conversations to have, but they must move from taking place in the fray to the open, where opportunity for mutual understanding across different identities, faiths, and culture can take place. We need a springboard for this conversation, and I feel confident that in the short span of the UNAOC, we have achieved the momentum for these dialogues and a journey towards a more peaceful and inclusive global point of view. We further welcome the future trajectory of the action plan as it takes a preventive lens on the UNAOC mandate and leverages its UN partnerships to prevent and counter violent extremism conducive to terrorism, with a special focus on youth stakeholders, building up the interfaith connections and mutual understanding between future generations is the ultimate guarantee of a better, equitable, inclusive, and prosperous future. I wish the United Nations Alliance of Civilizations success in all its endeavors to bridge divides and promote harmony between nations, all with a view to preventing conflict and promoting social cohesion. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Ambassador Permanent Representative of Sri Lanka, Mr. Peter Mohan Pieris, and be sure that we are continue to do so. And I think the global forum that is going to take place in Fez, inshallah, will give us this opportunity, what you say, to have a platform, a global platform for dialogue. So now